Dr. Bakshi, you are ready with the introductions of the speakers, no?
হ্যাঁ, আমার ওই অমিত বাবুটা আমার সেল থেকে পড়তে হবে, খুলে রেখেছি।
ঠিক আছে ও তো
beraber. Faz kan apa quick. Musician title.
Shuja Babu will go live. Let us know when we are live.
Dr. Bakshi, I feel that you are already on live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the second day of the CMA Econnect program on the case studies and intricacies in GSTR annual return. Yesterday, we had covered the outward profile details. Today, we'll be covering the input tax details. As usual, we have with us our two experts, our chief guest, CMA Amit Sarkar, and of course, our guest speaker, CA Pratik Shah. We also have with us the chairman of the members in industry committee. He is also the chairman of the Board of Advanced Studies and Research. So I will request CMA Devashish Mitra sir to kindly welcome all the participants today.
Good afternoon to everybody. I welcome you all to this today's Sunday afternoon for a on a very important topic, that is the GSTR annual return, GSTR9 input tax credit details, under our 2 days seminar on a walk through GSTR9. As you all know, that input tax credit is one of the most important area in GST, and we professionals sometimes have some confusion, some dilemma, that how much input tax credit we can avail, how much input tax credit we can utilize, what should be the input tax credit, whether we can avail or we cannot avail, what percentage of the input tax credit we should avail, and how much we should utilize. So all these intricacies will be discussed by CA Pratik Shah today. Before that, our chief guest, CMA Amit Sarkar, Senior Director Indirect Tax Deloitte, he will discuss, or he will just give us some idea on this particular topics. And without taking much time, I am requesting this Mr. Bakshi to carry out these proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for formally opening the concluding day's discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure in introducing you to our very own member, CMA Amit Kumar Sarkar. He is the Senior Director and Partner in Deloitte's Haskins & Sells LLP. Though we had introduced him yesterday, but today we will again like to introduce him, because there are many members who perhaps had not been able to join yesterday and is along with us today. So for them, here's me introducing CMA Amit Sarkar again. Amit sir is presently a partner, as I told you. He has over 22 years of post-qualification experience in indirect tax areas. As an indirect tax professional, Amit sir deals extensively with multinational and Indian companies across various sectors. His clientele include both domestic and multinational companies in manufacturing, financial services, and logistics sectors. Before joining Deloitte, he had also worked with another giant, that is PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, as an indirect tax specialist. Prior to that, he has worked with leading companies across manufacturing, project engineering, and retail sectors for close to 10 years. His work profile included handling of indirect taxes, commercial, accounting in various capacities. During these stints, as in the industry and also in consulting, he has been extensively engaged in ERP implementation, related tax advisory roles for setting up and configuring ERP systems for various companies. Of course, he is a member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. He also holds a Bachelor of Commerce from the University of Burdwan, West Bengal. Amit sir is currently located at Mumbai, and he is an active member of professional circles, namely our Navi Mumbai chapter of Cost Accountants and the Western Regional Council of the Institute. He has held positions of Honorary Secretary, Honorary Treasurer of Navi Mumbai chapter, and he has been he's still a very active member of the chapter, and he has been a faculty and resource person for various indirect taxation papers of cost and management accountancy courses, not only in our institute, but in many academic and industrial circles. So that was the short introduction of our CMA Amit Sarkar sir. I will later on introduce our CA Pratik Shah. Right now, I hand over the session to start the ball rolling to CMA Sarkar sir. If you can please kindly come in and set the ball in motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bakshi. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome on a Sunday afternoon to all the participants. I hope the deliberations yesterday were useful for your practical experience. And today, as we go upon the path of credit in the context of GST annual returns and GST audit, I'll just touch upon the basics of what is the role of input tax credit while doing reconciliation for filing of annual returns and GST audit. Now, Dr. Bakshi was kind enough to run through my introduction, and in that, one of the things that he mentioned was about various industries that I have worked in. Now, this is an interesting feature for input tax credit because wherever we are working, whichever sector we are working or we are practicing, or the clients that we deal, that has an impact on credits that business is entitled to take. Therefore, for any GST annual return or a GST audit assignment, both from an industry standpoint or from a practice standpoint, experience suggests that the practitioner or the professional should be aware of the industry or the sector which impacts the eligibility of input tax credit. Consequently, Section 16 read with Section 17 of the CGST Act plays the pivotal role, I would say, the basic role of identifying tax credits for the purpose of filings. Now, when we are filing the monthly returns, the industrial entities would be taking various stands in terms of eligibility of credits. The same also need to keep in mind that when we are finalizing the annual return and GST audit, that is the last chance, or I would say the final chance, before you face the departmental officers to reverse input tax credit as the case may be, if you are able to detect the ineligible ones. You cannot take additional credits at the time of filing annual return because there are timelines for availing those credits. But for the purpose of reversing ineligible ones, you can certainly do that. Now, those reversals could be on account of ineligible credit, 1. 2, it could be on account of exempted services or exempted income, on account of which you need to do some reversals from input tax credit, identifying the common credits. At the same time, you may also need to determine whether the allocations of input tax credit between various units on account of common input tax credits between multiple units are appropriately done or not. Now, these are the These are some basic aspects when it comes to eligibility of credit when one is passing through the process of finalizing annual return or the annual audit. The second aspect which I would like to touch upon is Section 18 of the CGST Act, wherein we are supposed to look at job work transactions. In a manufacturing business, job workers are an integral part of the manufacturing process, and therefore credits pertaining to job working transactions, whether from inputs or capital goods or input services, all need to be taken into account while identifying the GST annual return or audit. Now, there could be situations where we might have to delete or reverse certain credits, or we might have to reinstate certain credits on account of job work transactions. Reinstating is not possible, as we all know, and as I mentioned, but are we required to have we taken the credits appropriately is something that we can certainly look into input tax credit for job works. Now, if I am just a moment, please. So if I am talking about expense reconciliation from a GST audit standpoint, the very aspect of period for which the audit has to be finalized is a critical part of the finalization process. What I mean is when we are filing the GSTR9 and also filing the GSTR9C, we need to ensure that the credits have flown in appropriately at the appropriate time, and those are adequately disclosed in the annual return and also reconciled with the financials. So what do we mean by this? Credits claimed in the financial year for which the audit is being done or the annual return is being filed, and the credits which are going to be taken in the subsequent year or have been taken in the subsequent year, because there is an overlap between the two periods, those need to be taken into account. There are multiple disputes which clients or entities are facing on account of transition credit today. Even that 1718 the GST started, but still haunts multiple entities because there have been multiple observations or litigations around transition credit. So for the year 2018-19 specifically, you will still need to have on attention for transition credit, which is guided by Section 13040 of the CGST Act. Then there has to be a reconciliation between the expenses which are eligible and which are ineligible, and we need to plot those expenses according to the nature of ledger account which is required to be plotted in the GSTR9. Now, there was some exemption given for filing of annual returns for the first year. Those have not been explicitly clarified by the department for 18-19 and further for 19-20, but it is also important that we need to plot the expenses for our own benefit when we are justifying credits that they are not falling within the purview of Section 17 subsection 5, which are for ineligible credits or blocked credits as we call it. One more important aspect that we need to keep in mind is the aspect of taxes paid versus taxes payable. Now, taxes paid versus taxes payable are those transactions where we need to keep in mind the aspect of input tax credit when it has been utilized for payment of taxes. Just give me one moment, I'll just do that.
Thank you, Amit sir.
Just one minute,
Yes.
Mr. Bakshi, just 1 minute. I'll take
Yes,
2 more minutes to finish my session. When we are now, one important aspect of input tax credit is the heads under which we are paying GST. As we all know, there are various restrictions or utilization norms between CGST, SGST, and IGST when we are taking credit as well as when we are paying taxes under each of these heads. Now, we have come across practical situations where credits have been taken. Either they have been incorrectly accounted or they have been incorrectly accounted while at the time of utilizing those credits for the purpose of payment of taxes. And that creates issues, and that may also lead to situations where you might need to shift credits between one head to the other. But as we all know that we cannot avail additional credits, we might have to pay additional taxes. So how do you protect those people, situations without causing a financial loss, and also trying to toe the line of GST Act is something that we need to keep in mind. So utilization of credits between various heads of the taxes, CGST, GST, IGST, is an important aspect of finalization of GST annual return audit. And lastly, the point which I would like to touch upon is for those companies which have multiple units across India, they need to have cross charge of common expenses between the units. Now, those could be done either through the input service distributor mechanism, and there could be situations that one office, that primarily the head office, could be providing services to the branch office. Now, let me give an example. There is one client of mine which is into project engineering business. They have their head office in Bombay, but they have project offices across India. Now, they take project-specific loans from banks. Now, when they take project-specific loans, the expenses of those loans are also accounted into the project heads. But all those expenses come to the head office because the head office deals with those loans, with the bankers. And therefore, when the bills or the charges come to the head office, how does the head office deal with those credits? Should they be routing to the ISD route? Should they be doing a cross charge? Is something which needs the head office needs to decide much in advance, even before coming to the GSTR9 or 9C filing. But if the situation arises at the filing of GSTR9, then someone has to take a call, may have to advise the client or the professional in that way. What are the eligibility terms which do not pertain to a particular office or the entire company, but it pertains to a particular project. And if it has been incorrectly taken or in the ineligible office, then how to deal with those situations. Now, these are very specific nuances that an GST auditor as a professional has to know, and therefore knowledge about the industry, knowledge about the business sector, and the relevant input tax credit eligibility for those industry and sector is a key ingredient or requirement for this kind of a engagement. My last point would be that we always think, and I try to mention this at every occasion when I speak about annual return audit, this should not be seen or a compliance as we are doing on a month-to-month basis. This should be a value-added exercise, both for the company as well as for the professional. The professional, the company filing the annual return audit, should try to add value by bringing the expertise from various engagements in terms of defining, adding value to the clients, of sharing experiences and helping them with adopting processes which are compliant with the GST law. From a business perspective, this gives a very valuable opportunity to the business to reconcile their books of accounts with the GST returns, to revalidate the positions which they have taken for GST, whether they are correct, whether they are right in line with the evolving GST law, because GST law will keep on evolving in the next 5 years also. It will not stop evolving. It's a new law. We have to evolve through the process. And therefore, are we keeping our practices evolving with the evolving evolution of law is something which needs to be kept in mind while doing a GSTR9 or 9C. So that's my final, I would say, message to all the participants. Don't look this as a annual return or annual compliance or annual ritual. Please look at it from a value-added perspective, not only for yourself, but also as a practitioner. Thank you very much. And I hope that the session by Prateek would be very enriching for all of you, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amit sir, for having set the ball rolling and telling us the do's and don'ts on this very, very crucial and important topic. Now, I have the pleasure of introducing a very young but dynamic and on the ground CA Prateek Shah. Just to introduce him, he's a chartered accountant since November 2012, and he's practicing since 2014. He has graduated from Narsi Monji College of Commerce and Economics in April 2010. He has been a faculty of GST in certificate course in our institute. He has also been a faculty in GST in advanced certificate courses of GST of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He has been a lecturer in various capacities, specifically in GST in advanced certificate course, in NMIMS, MSc Finance, MMK College, Rajiv Gandhi College in Vashi, Motilal Junjunwala College in Vashi. He has also worked as GST auditor and GST consultant in the education sector, construction sector, catering sector, service sector, transport sector, etc. And he has assisted in numerous implementation of GST in several private limited companies and other industries. Dear members, just a small trivia. This GST was first started in France. It was in the mid 1950s, I think 1954 to be more precise. And now almost 160 countries have accepted this way of taxation, this way of indirect taxation. India, of course, started it very late, although the ball got rolling 17 years ago than when it was implemented in 2017. But it is a force that has to be reckoned with, and it has been a game changer in our indirect taxation area. Now I hand it over to our CA Pratiksha to take us back to the classroom so that we can learn and go into the intricacies. Pratiksha, it's all yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bakshi sir, for giving the brief introduction. Thank you, Debashish sir and the Director of Studies, sir. Thank you for bringing me to give this lecture. Thank you, Sujay and Ria. Because of you, we are able to do this online. And if you have carefully listened, just like yesterday, Amit Sarkar sir has asked most of the queries. He has asked about input service distributor. He has asked about books of accounts and all other queries. Job work, how we are maintaining. He has also asked about Rule 42, taxable and exempt. He has also asked about 17.5. So he has covered majority of the part in 15 minutes. Now this, I will explain you entire again through case studies. Just like yesterday, we learn about outward supply. Today we are going to learn about input tax credit. Okay, so I will present my screen. In case of any issues regarding screen or voice, please Bakshi ji and Debashish sir, you please let me know. Okay, now today is part 2, ITC details in regard to GSTR9 annual return. So first 5 to 10 minutes, I will give you basic understanding. Most of you might be aware, but still that understanding is required to understand the case studies. So first 5 to 10 minutes, I will give you basic understanding. Then I will teach you tabs of GSTR9. First will be tab 6 of GSTR9. Okay, how you avail the ITC, what are the clarification, everything we will understand. Then there is tab 7 regarding block credit and ITC reversal, how we need to reverse the credit. Then there is tab 8 of GSTR9. This is ITC or which you have availed and your comparison with GSTR2A. And later, finally, we will discuss about other tabs. One new section or rule, I will say Rule 36 sub Rule 4 is introduced. That also I'm going to cover today in this topic. Okay, so you get complete understanding of GSTR9 and how to take input tax credit in future. Okay, so just like yesterday for 2 to 5 minutes, basic understanding and other sections. What do you mean by input tax credit? Suppose I am a manufacturer, trader, recipient. From various suppliers I have bought goods, say raw material 10 lakh rupees. So to such supplier, I paid rupees 10 lakh and I also paid GST of 1 lakh 8. From various other suppliers during the year, I availed services 2 lakh rupees. To such supplier, I paid 2 lakh rupees and I paid GST of 36,000. And from various other suppliers during the year, I purchased capital goods 40 lakh rupees. And to them, I also paid GST of 4 lakh 80. So if you carefully observe, I have purchased goods, services, capital goods to the extent of 52 lakh. Okay, if you add everything, I have paid 52 lakh rupees to the supplier. These are their money. And on this, I've also paid GST of 6,96,000. Whatever GST I have paid to such supplier, supplier shall pay to the government. Okay, so this is how it works. Supplier collects and pay to the government. So in short, through various supplier, I have paid GST of 6,96,000 to government. Now all this, by utilizing all this, I manufactured finished good. This finished good I sold to the end user for 1 crore plus 18% GST. So such end user paid me 1 crore. This is my money. And I also collected GST of 18 lakh. Now, technically, think about it. How much GST I have collected on outward supply? 18 lakh. This I'm liable to pay. But what I'm telling to government, the government, I'm liable to pay 18 lakh. But I've already paid GST on purchases, services, capital goods of 6 lakh 96. I will get what? Input tax credit of it. So whatever GST we pay on purchase, service, capital goods, you get what? Input tax credit of it. Okay, so I've collected 18 lakh GST. I've already paid GST of 6 lakh 96. Now I will pay only balance GST of 11 lakh 4,000. I will pay only balance GST of 11 lakh 4,000. So this is just a brief understanding. Now, as an auditor, how are you required to begin the audit? What are the conditions? What are the conditions for availing ITC? You cannot, if the client say, I've availed this, you need to check. See, there are few conditions which then only you can avail ITC. Condition number 1. If you want input tax credit, you should have GST number. In short, you should be registered under CGST Act. Correct? Second point, if you want ITC, such ITC, it should be in the course of business or it should be used in the furtherance of business. It cannot be for personal purpose. It has to be for business purpose. Okay. Third, if I say I bought this mobile for office, what is the proof? Proof is tax paying document. Any tax invoice, debit note, bill of entry, whatever, that proof is required. Okay, if you want input tax credit, you should have actually received the goods or services. Then only you can avail ITC. For example, if I have invoice today of 17th or 18th October, but this mobile I received on 1st of November, when can I avail ITC, sir? 1st November. When I receive the goods, when I receive the service, then only I can avail ITC. Next point. Tax is paid by the supplier of the goods. This point is little bit difficult to digest, but what can we do? This point is there. What it says, suppose I have sold goods to you. You people have paid me GST. What I'm telling, I have sold goods to you. You people have paid GST to me. Unless and until I pay GST to government, you cannot avail ITC, which I will explain at the end of the session how this will work. GSTR 2A and 2B. Okay, so what it says, suppose I have sold goods to you. You people have paid GST to the supplier, but unless supplier pays GST to government, the recipient cannot avail ITC. So this point is just a difficult point. And last, return is filed. If you want ITC, you must have filed GSTR9. If all the conditions are satisfied, you can avail ITC. So this is just the beginning, how to begin the audit. You can verify such pointers. Yeah, so this is section 16 subsection 2. Next point. Now comes section 16 subsection 4. What is the time limit for availing and utilization of ITC? Okay, suppose the invoice is today, October 2020. You forget to book the ITC. When till what date you can claim? Answer is due date of GSTR3 for the month of September following the end of the financial year to which the invoice pertains. So today is October 2020. What is the financial year? 2021. So you can take plus 6 months, September 2021 GSTR3B. Till that date, you can avail this ITC. So you can check this. You can check this during the audit of 1819. That 1718 ITC, if you availed in 1819, it is allowed. Okay. And 1819 ITC, if you have availed in 1920 till September 19, that is also allowed. Clear? Next point. Or the date of filing annual return of financial year 2021, whichever is earlier. So if you have forgotten to avail ITC of October 20, till what date you can avail? September 2021. Due date of filing GSTR3B of September 2021 or the date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. Correct? Now, the transactions on which the recipient can claim input tax credit. See, I will explain you all the transactions which we will declare in tax 6. Okay, what are the transactions on which the recipient can claim ITC? Transaction 1, basic, what I explained just now. Suppose I buy raw material, I avail services, I purchase capital goods. Okay, now whatever GST I paid on all this, what I will get? I will get input tax credit. This is transaction one. Whatever GST I paid on raw material, service, capital good, you are going to get input tax credit. This is transaction one. Okay, now let us understand transaction two. Input tax credit on import of good. Suppose I am importer. I don't purchase from India. I purchase from outside India. So I imported goods of rupees 10 lakh. I paid GST on import at the rate of 5% as well. When you import the good, you have to pay custom duty and you also need to pay IGST. You also need to pay IGST. Okay, so now suppose I've imported goods of 10 lakh. GST rate is 5%. Suppose this I've imported from China, Sri Lanka. Now it directly doesn't come to my godown. It comes to the Indian custom port. Say Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust or whatever. Okay, see this goods will come to Indian custom port. I will have to file bill of entry. I will have to pay custom duty. I will also need to pay IGST. As soon as I pay all this, then only I will get the goods. Okay, so whatever GST you have paid on the port, that is also allowed as input tax credit. That is also allowed as input tax credit. So this is transaction two. Whatever GST you have paid on the port, you are allowed input tax credit. Okay, now let's move to transaction number three. Next, transaction three, what it says. See this. GST liability under reverse charge. What is this? Example. Suppose I am a receiver. Yesterday I explained to you. I avail advocate services. Correct? I avail advocate services or I avail GTA services. I avail GTA services. Okay, now see, whatever money I pay to them, I will not pay GST to them. They will not pay GST to government. In fact, whatever service I receive from them, I will have to pay GST under reverse charge mechanism. Whenever I take advocate service, whenever I receive GTA service or many other service under section 9 subsection 3, I will have to pay GST under reverse charge. Clear? Now, whatever GST I pay under reverse charge, fortunately, I will get the input tax credit of it. This is the point. So this is transaction number 3. Whatever GST you paid under reverse charge, you are going to get input tax credit. Clear? So first, this were the 3 transactions. Now, next point comes. Input tax credit to be availed in GSTR 3B monthly. See, understand this point. Suppose I am registered person. During the month of April 2018, I had following inward supply. I had imported inputs. On import, I paid 1 lakh IGST. I have availed advocate services or GTA services. On this, I have paid GST under reverse charge 5,000. That is also eligible. And from India, I had some domestic purchase, say raw material. I paid GST of 5,000 within the state. Okay, say I availed services. I paid IGST of 25,000. I purchased capital good. I paid IGST of 50,000. So this is what I have done during the month. Okay, now I will explain you how to declare this in GSTR 3B. Currently, I'm not explaining you GSTR9. I'm explaining you GSTR 3B. See, this is the month of April 2018. See, this is your case study, April 2018. This is what you have done. Now, how to present this in April 2018 3B? The month is April. So I will go to GST portal. I will open April 2018. I click on, this is your GSTR 3B. In this return, you will have to click eligible ITC tab. You can see eligible ITC. Click on this tab, GSTR 3B. Understood? Now see what it will happen. First, what I had done, I had imported goods. I had paid IGST of 1 lakh. Correct. Now, whatever I have paid this IGST, point number 1 in 3B, I will write a 1 lakh IGST paid. Second was what? I have taken advocate service. I have paid GST under reverse charge 5,000 CGST, 5,000 SGST. That I will write in column 3, row 3, liable to reverse charge. Okay. Next is all this domestic purchase, 5,000 CGST is total is 5,000. So 2,500 CG, 2,500 SG. For that, there is no separate row. So I will write all other ITs. You will have to write in all other ITs. It is 5,000. So 2,500 CGST, 2,500 SGST. Then I avail services outside the state, IGST of 25,000. So I will write in IGST 25,000. Whatever from India you purchase, right? This capital goods also are purchased outside the state. So 25 plus 50, I will change this figure to 75,000. So I will write as 75,000. So this is your total ITC. 1,07,000, 7,500, 7,500. Now through GSTR3B, you have claimed this input tax credit. Every month you are going to do this. Every month this process you are going to follow. Understood? Now next step. See, whatever input tax credit you avail in your monthly GSTR3B, जो भी आप ITC लेते हो each month in your GSTR3B for the period April 18 to March 19, this entire total of April 18 to March 19, this is also going to get auto-populated in your GSTR9 tab 6. Getting it? So every month, what you are taking ITC in GSTR3B, 12 months total, aggregate of 12 months, it shall be auto-populated in what return? Your GSTR9 annual return. See this. This is your GSTR9 18-19. Let us check. Okay, this I am opening our GSTR9 annual return. Correct. Now see this tab number 6. You can see the ITC tab 6. Whatever ITC you have filled in your 3B, 12 months aggregate, it shall be auto-populated. You cannot do anything. You cannot do anything. This is auto-populated figure. This you cannot edit it. This you cannot edit it. I repeat, this figure you cannot edit it. Input tax credit 12 months auto-populate, you cannot edit. It is in gray color. So I cannot do anything. Okay? Yeah, there are plenty of other points which we will discuss in. Yeah? Okay, so this 12 months ITC shall be auto-populated. Now, let us understand tab number 6 of GSTR9. There are some advanced case studies which will let you know many other points. See, tab 6 of GSTR9. Again, I was a registered person. I paid GST on raw material. I paid GST on services. I paid GST on capital goods during entire financial year. Okay, I also paid GST on import during the entire financial year, and I paid GST under reverse charge during entire financial year. Now, whatever GST I paid in total for the aggregate of 12 months, that will be auto-populated in tab number 6 of GSTR9. Just now we saw that. Okay, chalo. Now please understand. Suppose this is GSTR3B, which you file each month for the period April 18 to March 19. Total ITC auto-populated in tab 6 of GSTR9. Okay, now see. Okay, let's do one case study how to disclose this. Suppose I am registered person. I had following inward supply during 1890. Imported imports, IGST 30 lakh. Reverse charge, I had paid GST of 1515. Correct? Then I had paid raw materials, CGSG of 1 crore. Services domestic I purchased, I paid IGST of 22,000, and on capital goods I paid GST of 1 lakh. So this is what I have done during entire financial year 1890. This is my eligible. After all reversals and block credit, this is my final say eligible. Now how will I declare this in tab number 6? See, this is your tab 6 of GSTR9. So you can see this is your tab 6. What is auto-populated, I cannot edit it. Now, if this is correct, I just need to give bifurcation. So I've imported inputs of say 30 lakh. So I will write, see, there is one row, import of goods in GSTR9. There, I need to write 30 lakh. Assume that is correct, above, auto-populated. Second, I had availed services I have paid under reverse charge, 1515. So in B or C, whatever as applicable, you will have to write this 1515. Okay. Third point was I had purchased raw materials. I had paid GST of 1 crore, CGST and 1 crore SGST. Okay. So against input, I will write 1 crore CGST, 1 crore SGST. Okay. In services, I paid outside India, 22,653 IGST. This I will write in services. So in services, you will write 22,653. Input services. And you have purchased capital goods. So you had paid IGST of 1 lakh. So against capital goods, I will write 1 lakh. So whatever data was auto-populated, you have just given the bifurcation, assuming that was correct. Assuming that was correct, which is never going to be a possibility, but assume that is correct. So this is how you need to give the bifurcation of input tax credit in tab 6. Clear? But which registered person has maintained such detail? Do you think you must be auditor in many companies, or you must be accountant or somewhere working? Which client has maintained data, input tax credit relation to input, service, capital goods? No one has maintained. No one has maintained such data. So how will you give this bifurcation? How will you give this bifurcation how will you give this bifurcation of raw material, capital goods, service? Is it possible? Is it possible? Answer is no. Answer is no. No client has maintained data that input service capital. No one has maintained. That's why government has given relaxation in GSTR9 of financial year 1890. Government has given relaxation in GSTR9 of financial year 1819 that whatever input tax cover of raw material, services, capital good, this bifurcation which you are required to give, even if you don't give, that's allowed. Whatever total ITC is there, you can declare this entire ITC in the tab inputs. You can declare this entire in the tab inputs. You don't need to declare input service, capital goods. You can put this entire ITC in the tab inputs. See this. This I will explain you through portal only. You can open GSTR9 tab number 6. This is your tab 6. Okay, this is your total ID. Don't give bifurcation. If you don't have, don't give. Don't give wrong at least. Then what is the option available with you? You can put this entire ITC where? In tab 6 inputs column. In here only you can put the entire ITC. So what was your ITC? IGST 175. Write it against input. If you don't have, then if you have, then give bifurcation. In inputs, I will write entire ITC. This relaxation is there. This relaxation is there. Clear? So certain relaxations government has given. Hopefully they have understood the taxpayers' problems. Now tab 7 of GSTR9. Ineligible ITC and ITC reversal. First, I will explain you what is this ineligible ITC, what is this ITC reversal. Let us understand that. Then only I will explain you tab 7. Suppose I am a registered person. What tab 7 says? It gives you ineligible credit, block credit, whatever credit is blocked under 17.5, you need to declare here. Whatever ITC rule 42, rule 43 that you are required to reverse, which I will explain you now, that also you are required to put in tab 7. And whatever rule 37, payment within 180 days, and any other reversal, section 16 which you have not followed, any other reversal, you can reverse in tab number 7 of GSTR9. Okay, so let us understand each of this point. Let us understand this each point. Suppose this. This is your tab 7 of GSTR9. Details of ITC reversed and ITC for the financial. See this. This is rule 17.5, block credits. You can see the block credit. This is what you are required to declare, 17.5. Rule 42, rule 43, this is what you are required to declare. Then rule 37 and rule other reversals. Other reversals. So this is your tab 7. All the reversals and all you have to declare here. Okay, now section 17.5, block credit. Whatever you are required to reverse and all, which you find out during audit, which you correctly find out during audit, you are required to reverse. So first is block credit. How to do the audit? You need to find this credit, block credit. ITC, which has blocked under 17.5. If you have explained this, if you have availed this, even for the purpose of business, still you cannot avail this ITC. Which are this point? First point, motor car. If you purchase directors, if your company purchase motor car for the director, or Mr. Mukesh Ambani sir, he purchases helicopter for travel from home to office. This is business purpose. But section 17.5 say whatever GST you pay, you are not allowed ITC. You are not allowed input tax credit. This is what 17.5 says. This is very big. I'm just touching it upon. Second point, Suppose you take your client to the restaurant or your employees go to restaurant, late night setting. Whatever GST you pay on restaurant or on catering service in your annual general meeting or board meeting, whatever GST you pay, it is not allowed. It is blocked under 17.5. It is for business, I agree, but still it is blocked under 17.5. Third point. Now this point, it is very difficult to digest. Works contract service in relation to immovable property. Suppose I'm chartered accountant, cost accountant. So we are constructing our office. Then only we will be able to work. I have given you contract to construct my office. Whatever GST I pay to you, I am not allowed ITC. Works contract service to the extent of capitalization, ITC is blocked. This is 17.5. So if your client has constructed, repairs, renovation, heavy major repair, he has availed ITC, please disallow it. Please, because 17.5 disallow it. There are few exceptions which I'm not covering today. Next, construction of immovable property on own account. I'm a builder. I construct my own office or I'm constructing a shopping mall. Whatever GST I paid on brick, cement, etc., I'm not allowed ITC. So these are the few points. Next is, suppose goods are lost. I purchased the goods. There is fire in the godown or someone stole the goods. So if goods are lost, stolen, destroyed or disposed by way of a gift or free samples, whatever GST I paid, ITC is blocked. ITC is blocked. If I have already availed, ITC shall be reversed. And suppose if I have purchased from composition dealer, again whatever GST I have paid, I will not be allowed ITC. Obviously, you will not pay GST, but ITC is blocked. So this is 17.5. This is 17.5. Whatever GST you have paid, you shall not be allowed. It is blocked. You have to put it in your profit and loss. That GST is your cost. That is not allowed as ITC. So this is one of the major audit points which you need to be careful. This is how you need to do the audit. Okay, identify such point. There are few exceptions which are allowed, but identify and disallow if required. Next is Rule 37. Now, no client has maintained this data. So it's an opportunity you are required to guide your client. Rule 37 of the CGST. Payment by the recipient within 180 days. See this point. What this rule says. Suppose this is a supplier, I am a recipient, I am a buyer. I bought goods from this supplier. See this. I took goods from this supplier for rupees 10 lakh plus 18% GST. Now, what is the invoice date? 1st of October 2018. These are the details. Okay, I immediately availed ITC in my GSTR 3B of October 18. I immediately availed. Correct now. So I have availed as per section 16. Now, I need to pay to the supplier. I need to pay him 10 lakh. I need to pay him 5% GST. I'm not paying. I'm relaxed. Till date, I have not paid. So what Rule 37 says? As per Rule 37, recipient is required to pay entire 10 lakh 50 within 180 days from the date of invoice. So you can identify the creditors list. If you have not paid, if your client has not paid within 180 days, you are required to reverse the interest. You are required to reverse the ITC. So Rule 37 says recipient is required to pay within 180 days from the date of invoice. So if the recipient does not pay, then what will happen? His entire ITC of 50,000, which I had availed in October 18, the auditor will reverse now in October 20. And I shall be subjected to interest. This is big burden on me. I shall be subjected to interest on this amount. For the 2 years, I shall be liable to pay interest. Okay, so this is also one of the major audit point in ITC. If your client has not paid to your creditor within 180 days, you are required to reverse his ITC along with interest. That is the hurdle. Interest is that hurdle. Okay, now I will explain you one of the complicated rules, Rule 42 and Rule 43. I just used some characters for understanding. Suppose Mr. Amir, he is running school. Now school fees is exempt. If you're aware, on school there is no GST on school fees. Okay, so he is running a school and earning revenue. He is also running classes. Okay, school fees is say 5 crore. School fees pay, there is no GST. But he is running classes now. But running classes is not doing any favor. So classes fees are taxable. Classes fees are taxable. So he is supplying exempt service 5 lakh rupees and he is supplying taxable service 15 crore rupees. 5 crore and 15 crore. Ratio is 1:3. Okay, so what is happening? Amir is supplying exempt service, exempt supply of 5 crore and is supplying taxable supply of 15 crore. Okay, now understand. Now, during the year, Amir bought a software. It is named Software ABC. This software he purchased for rupees 1 crore and on this software he paid GST of 18 lakh. Now, this software is so good. In the same software is doing accounting of school student also. And in the same software is doing accounting of classes student also. So this software is used for exempt supply and the same software is being used for taxable supply. You're getting this point? Same software is used for exempt supply and same software is being used for taxable supply. Can you avail? Think about it. Use your common sense. Can we avail entire ITC of 18 lakh? Can you avail entire input tax credit of 18 lakh? Answer is big. No. You cannot avail this ITC of entire, you cannot avail. Then, is it totally to be disallowed? No. You are not required to reverse ITC. See what the Act says. What the Act says. Normally, see on school, I am not collecting GST. So whatever GST I have paid, I shall not be allowed ITC. This is Rule 42 says. See, I am collecting school fees. I am not collecting GST. So why should I be allowed ITC? So what Rule 42 says, when I am supplying exempt supply as well as taxable supply, I will not get full ITC. Then what is the proportion? Certain ITC I need to disallow. What is the ratio? What is the ratio? Total ITC into exempt turnover divide by total turnover, this much ITC shall be disallowed. Total ITC into exempt turnover divide by total turnover, this much ITC shall be disallowed. So what is my total ITC? 18 lakh. What is my exempt turnover? School fees, 5 crore. What is my total? 5 plus 15, 20 crore. So how much will be disallowed out of 18 lakh? 4 lakh 50. Balance 13 lakh 50 shall be allowed. Balance 13 lakh 50 shall be allowed. So this is Rule 42. Many clients, many of your clients, even my client who was a GT and all, they were giving exempt service, but they never followed this Rule 42. They never understood this Rule 42. So many of the clients have not reversed such ITC. So this is again a major GST audit point. If you are preparing GSTR 9 and 9C of your client, you're doing the audit, please do the application of Rule 42 and Rule 43. Clear? So this is how you need to take ITC. And there are some other reversals. Suppose I am a recipient, I do not have tax invoice. During audit, you found out that there was no invoice or I have taken some fake GST invoice. In short, I have wrongly availed ITC. Say I have taken for AC for my home, but I am availing ITC in my office. That is not allowed. So if you find out such input tax credit, again you will disallow. Again you will disallow. Clear? Assume your client has not reversed any ITC. He has availed full ITC. Now how you will reverse, how you will present in GSTR9, please try to understand. See, I have already explained you how to do the audit. Now, after doing the audit, how to put your presentation in GSTR9, let us understand through a case study. Point number 1. See, your total ITC, your for raw material is 1 lakh 50,000 CG, 50,000 SG. Okay, total ITC during the 18-19 for services is 25,000, 10,000 and 10,000. ITC on purchase of motor car, your client has availed this. 1 lakh 50 has availed this. This is blocked under 17.5, but he has availed this. ITC on works contract service. This is also not allowed, but your client didn't know. This also availed 1 lakh. ITC on import of goods. This is allowed. But how to present this? Let us see. ITC pay on reverse charge. This is also allowed. 25. So total ITC which your client has availed is 2 lakh 85, 2 lakh 35, 2 lakh 35. He did not follow the 17.5 Rule 42. Okay. See, now what has happened? Your client has taxable turnover of 10 crore, but he also has exempted turnover of 20 crore. And he didn't know about Rule 42. Assume these are all the common ITC used for taxable supply as well as exempt supply. Used for taxable supply as well as exempt supply. Now, how to present this in GSTR 9C? How to present this in GSTR 9C? That let us understand. See, this is your GSTR 9C. See how you will do this. This is most important case study. On left hand side, I will show you the same question. On right hand side, you will get GSTR. This is already recorded, so no issue. See this. Now I will open this GSTR9 is open on right hand side. Your ITC on raw material was say 150, 50 and 50. Okay, so you will open tab 6 of GSTR9. Assume this is auto-populated. Currently I cannot show that. So on raw material it is 150, 50 and 50. This is what is auto-populated also in 4A. So this is your first problem. Whatever GST you pay on raw material, you have written here. Correct, in tab 6. Second, whatever GST you have paid on services, 25,000, 10, you have the bifurcation. I will write here. 25, 10 and 10. Third point. Third point was what? You have paid GST on motor car. Your client has availed, na? Your client has availed 150, 150. So first in tab 6, you also avail. First in tab 6, you also avail this. Okay, so I will be putting it in inputs only. I'm putting, it's allowed relaxation. So I'm putting it in. First in tab 6, I will avail because my client has availed. ITC on works contract 1 lakh. So now I will putting it in input service 1 lakh plus 25. Okay. ITC on import of good 10,000. For that, there is a separator on import. See in tab 6, even if it is disallowed, first you show it. Okay, because your client has availed it. So this is 10,000. ITC on reverse chart 25,000 CGST. 25,000 SGST. So there is this clause C and where you can declare, or clause D, wherever applicable, C or D, you can show this 25,000 and 25,000 CGST and SGST. Okay, so I will declare in my clause D 25,000 CGST. I can put everything in inputs only. I don't need to give bifurcation. So my total ITC was 285, 235, 235. You got this. 285, 235, 235. This is your tab 6. Your total ITC you have to declare in tab 6. Now comes tab 7. Reverse it. Whatever audit points you find out, reverse it. See, your taxable turnover was 10 crore. Exempt turnover was 20. So you cannot avail this entire. You are required to reverse proportionately. You are required to reverse proportionately. Okay. See, first, whatever ITC was blocked, motor car 1 lakh. And whatever works contract service, 1 lakh 50, 1 lakh 50, first to reverse that. Because that is not, that is blocked under 17.5. So here in tab 7, whatever was blocked, you identified during audit, put in tab 7. Okay, 17.5. This is blocked. Why have you availed? So how much wrong I had availed on motor car and works contract? On motor car, I availed 150 CGSG. That I will reverse. It is automatically reducing. And 1 lakh, one works contract I wrongly availed was blocked. That also I will write. Whatever I will write, this figure, see, it got reduced. It was 2 lakh 85. Now it became 1 lakh 85. Clear? So figures will get reduced automatically. Okay. And second, I had supplying taxable as well as exempt. So out of this net eligible ITC, 1 lakh 85, whatever remains, how much I can take? 1 lakh 85 into my exempt turnover 20 crore. Divide by how much? My total turnover, which is 20 plus 10, 30 crore. This much ITC will be further disallowed. 1,23,000 IGST. Here I will write, you can see rule 42. Here I will further reverse my ITC, 1,23,333. See, this is my balance ITC. Now you have reversed and this is your balance. Same way CGST, 85,000 was total into exempt, divide by total. 56,667. This is also what you are required to reverse. 56,667. Getting this point? So this is how you need to do it. This is how you need to do it. Okay, first, and see, I'm again giving you the steps again so that you remember it for a long time. In tab 6, first, whatever your client has done, whatever is there, which is auto-populated, you give entire detail. Okay, then you identify which are blocked under 17.5, give in tab 7. Reverse that. Then after giving effect of 17.5, whatever is net eligible ITC. Net eligible ITC, you apply the ratio of taxable and exempt and reverse as per rule 42. Okay, and 43 as applicable. Okay, so this is how you will get your final input tax credit. Tab 7 of GSTR 9. Understood, everyone? Please, this is how you get the stepwise so that you people can also remember how to do the audit. Okay, this is how you need to do the presentation. Chalo, next step. Now let's move to next step. 1 second. Huh? Yeah. Now what will happen, as Amit sir rightly pointed out, mismatch. The tab 6 and 7 is done. Now comes the problem of mismatch. Some case studies which Amit sir had pointed out at the beginning of the session. Mismatch is input tax credit, which I have availed in 3B, and I'm comparing it to my books of accounts. Say, for example, in my GSTR 3B return, my input tax credit figures are some different. However, in my books of account, your Tally, software, SAP, Oracle, whatever you are using, your books of account, it is different. Which input tax credit you will show in GSTR9? This query I'm breaking. But case study I will cover now. See my GSTR 3B return during April 18 to 19. How much I have availed in my 3B? Say rupees 10 lakh. Okay, however, when the auditor checked the books of account, he is saying, boss, your eligible is 14 lakh. I have availed 4 lakh less. Can I claim that 4 lakh ITC in 18-19 GSTR9? Can you do that? Yesterday I've already explained this. Again, I will explain. Similarly, suppose in GSTR3, you have availed input tax credit of say 10 lakh. The auditor, when you audited the books of account, you verified that, boss, it is only 8 lakh. You have availed excess ITC of 2 lakh. How much you need to show in 18-19? These are all the questions which will be there in your mind. Let us understand this point. Input tax credit in GSTR9. What do you have required to do? See, this is the main point. Whatever input tax credit in GSTR9, how much you have to pay? ITC as per your books of account, or ITC as per your GSTR 3B, which you have availed in 18-19, whichever is less, that much ITC you need to take. I will explain you through this case study, but first just understand. You think from government's point of view, don't think from registered person's point of view. Think from government point of view. Whatever ITC is there as per your books of account, if that, compare it with your GSTR 3B 12 month, whichever is less, that much ITC is allowed in GSTR 9. Only that much ITC is allowed. Okay, see, understand through case study. Chalo, basic case studies are there. Case study number 1. See, input tax credit during 12 months in GSTR 3B 18-19. You availed IGST 10 lakh 50 in your 12 months thing. CGST 29, SGST 20. 12 months aggregate you have availed this. But when the auditor audited books of account, he verified that your eligibility was 10 lakh 40, 24 CG and 24 SG. Okay, so this much was your. So you have availed excess ITC. Why have you availed excess ITC is questioning. Now, figures in GSTR 9, it shall get auto-populated from 3B. So, kya hoga yahan pe say this? This is your GSTR 9. Open tab 6. This is your auto-populated. You cannot change this factor. This will be auto-populated. IGCGS 1050, 29, 29. Okay, so here you will have to declare this is your auto-populated figure. I cannot do anything. Okay, but if you carefully see, your books of account is saying your eligible input tax credit is only this much. So, should I avail ITC as per my 3B, which is auto-populated? Or should I avail ITC as per books of account, which is correct? Answer is, since actual ITC as per your books of account is lower, whatever excess you have availed it, do not claim this. In fact, reverse it. You can reverse it in tab 7, but do not reverse in tab because this is not block credit. This is not 17.5. This is not other reversal. This is by mistake you have availed excess ITC. So what is the option? You can reduce this directly in tab 6. See how this will work. See, your auto-populated is 1050, 29, 29. Now, best option. Just give bifurcation of 10 lakh 40. Okay, give bifurcation. Whatever your eligible is there, you can write directly 10, 40, 24, and 24. Okay, so now portal will catch only that amount. Whichever is less, portal is this, it will automatically reverse it. Portal will reverse this 10,559,655. So portal will reverse and see what is the outcome. 10 lakh 40, 24, and 24. Whichever is less came outside. Whichever is less came outside. Okay, so whatever now you have reversed, you will pay through which form? DRC03, just as we understood yesterday. This whatever you have reversed this ITC, you will pay through which form? DRC03. Payment and finish it off. Okay, so this was our case study 1. So step number 1, I always teach through steps. Compare your GSTR 3B, compare your books of account, match it. Whatever excess is there, please reverse. And how will you pay? When I say reverse, how will you reverse and pay? You will pay through DRC03. Okay, you will pay money through cash ledger, offset through DRC03. You'll pay money through cash ledger, offset through DRC03. Now, case study 2. Suppose your ITC was this, which is auto-populated. This is your ITC as per 3B, 10 lakh 50, 29 and 29. This got auto-populated. Okay, but your auditor verified books of account. He said, boss, why have you availed less? Your IGST was 10 lakh 60. CG was 35, SG 35. Now figures will get auto-populated. Figures are going to get auto-populated. 18, 19 figures got auto-populated in GSTR9. So this you cannot change. Again, same thing. 10, 50, 29, 29. Whatever I have availed in 3B, this are getting auto-populated. I cannot change this. Okay, I cannot change this. This I cannot do anything. But my query to all of you, your eligible was more. Your eligible was more. Now in October 2020, how will you declare this in GSTR9? Can you avail the ITC as per your books of account? Whatever difference can you avail now in GSTR9? Or can you take as per GSTR3B which got auto-populated? What is your opinion? Think about it. Everyone, I request, think about it. How much ITC you can avail? See, I told you yesterday, GSTR9 is an opportunity to pay GST. You cannot avail any missing ITC through GSTR9. At the moment, portal will not allow you. ये जो भी आपका pending ITC था, you cannot avail this through GSTR9. Government ने form ही ऐसा बनाया that it is an opportunity to pay GST. You cannot avail this miss ITC. So see, what will you do in this case? See, this is your GSTR9. Okay, your auto-populated was this. Even if you try to avail more, it will not allow. Your 10 lakh 60, 35, 35 was there now. Because it's an opportunity to pay GST, you cannot avail missed ITC. Forget it, you cannot avail. So even if you write 10 lakh 60, it will not allow. You will write only whichever is less. You will write whichever is less. So 10 lakh 60 boss, ignore it. You will give bifurcation only of 10 lakh 50. Okay, because the GSTR9 is an opportunity to pay GST, not an opportunity to claim ITC. Yes, so this was our case study 2. If you identify even all the remaining ITC, there is no use. There is no use. Okay, so again I will repeat, ITC in GSTR9, how you will avail? As per books of account or as per GSTR3B auto-populated, whichever is less. You cannot avail missing ITC. आप missing ITC नहीं ले सकते. But there is one case study 3. Now this is very eye-opening. See, input tax credit in 3B 1819. This was the same point. This which you avail. Input tax credit of books of account, same figure. Very good. This is hardly this is never going to happen. So input tax credit is matching. Now ITC as per 3B is matching with your books of account. Impossible in any client. What is happening? See, now the auditor audited. He identified that boss, what have I done? There is motor car. IGST 50,000, you have wrongly availed. This is what auditor is telling you. That out of this ITC, it is matching, I agree, but there is certain motor car ITC of 50,000 which you are not liable to take. Chalo reverse it. So this motor car, by mistake, I availed input tax credit. So how you will present this? We must, how will you present this? This is 17.5 blocked. You need to present this in tab 7 of GSTR9. And this money you will pay through DRC03. So how will you do this? See, first tab 6, it will be same. Tab 6 is going to be same. This is what is auto-populated. Give bifurcation. Because in tab 6, it is total ITC. So I will write here total ITC. Jo bhi tha, I will put entire in inputs. I don't need to give bifurcation. Okay, now comes tab 7. There is tab 7. Whatever IGSTR paid of 50, this was blocked. So in tab 7, I will write 17.5. See, you can see 10 lakh 50. I will write in 17.5, 50,000 rupees. Whatever I will write, that much ITC automatically got reduced. This ITC will reverse in tab 7. Now, whatever you are liable to pay, this you are reversed, you are liable to pay through which form? DRC03. Through which ledger you will offset? Cash ledger. Electronic cash ledger, not credit ledger. Okay, so this is your case study. This is just a demo how to do the audit. One more case study. Suppose your ITC eligible was this as per your annual 3B. However, your books of account, that is also same. Very good. ITC as per 3B is matching with books of account. But when someone did my GST audit, he identified that there was some input tax credit which I have not paid to the supplier within 180 days. That IGST was 5,000. One he said installed at home, but I have availed the ITC of 15. How is it possible? Not allowed. Okay. Then I have availed catering service for my annual general meeting, board meeting. I have taken caterer. I did not know 17.5. So I availed CG of 2,000, SG of 2,000. This is what the auditor found out. This is how you need to do the audit. Now, how will you disclose this? All this figure. Whatever reversal are there as per this act, you are required to reverse this in tab 7. Tab 6 will be total. Tab 7, reverse it. See, how will you reverse and then how will you pay? See, this is your point. ITC as per 3B and books are perfectly matching. Go ahead. So your tab 6 will remain the same. Now, whatever reversal is there in tab 7. Open tab 7. So point-wise reversal, let us do first. There was some ITC of 5,000 which I did not pay within 180. So I'm required to pay 5,000. So this is explained in Rule 37. I will write in Rule 37 IGST reverse of 5,000. It will reduce. Second, one ITC I availed at home. I purchased AC at home. I availed ITC. This is a personal purpose. There is no separate thing, but there is other reversal. There I will write IGST reverse 15,000. I will mention it was personal purpose. That's why it's reversed. Correct? Third point. I've availed catering service for my annual general meeting. I paid CGST. Now that is blocked under 17.5. How can I avail this? This also will be blocked. 2,000 CGST, 2,000 SGST. So finally, my eligible. See, what was total? 10 lakh 50. How became eligible? 1030. 29 was there. 27 came and 27. So this is your responsibility to reverse the ITC. Can you avail more? You can never avail more. You can reverse. It's one-sided, not both sides. You cannot claim refund. So whatever ITC of reverse, you will pay through which form? DRC03, electronic cash ledger. Cash ledger, not credit ledger. Okay. So auditor has found out errors during audit. Now this is one of the big questions. See, I'm just giving my opinion. This is not a general opinion. Many auditors have different answers. Okay, just this is my opinion. Listen, what I do, say auditors have found out errors during audit. Suppose I was doing audit of your clients or audit of my client. I found out errors during audit. Now, whether to rectify, reverse, disclose this in GSTR9 or whether I should disclose this in GSTR9C. What is your opinion? What is your opinion? Whether you are required to reverse this in GSTR9, finish it off, or whether you are required to do it in 9C. See, in GSTR9, auditor don't have to sign. It is only client who is signing. But in GSTR9C, auditor also have to put his digital sign. Their client and auditor both have to sign. So what is your opinion? If I do, see what many CAs and chartered accountant are thinking that, why to do in 9? Let us do it in 9C. Why? Because they are saying our sign is in 9C. Let us show to the government that we pointed out this error, not them. We pointed out this error. See, I will request you how to present this, see, understand. Whether to disclose in GSTR9 here. Can I request in tab 7 GSTR9 here I should reverse? Or should I reverse in GSTR9C? So let us understand. As per my view, as per my suggestion, advisable to reverse this entire in GSTR9. Advisable to disclose this in entire in GSTR9. Why? Because there are two sections if you are aware. There are two sections if you are aware. One is section 7, sorry. 1 second, sorry. Yeah. One is section 73. If in future officer raises the demand, you can show that boss, I've declared this in GSTR9. I paid the money in GSTR9. In short, there is no fraud attitude. The notice will come in section 73. Demand will come in section 73. But if the auditor reverses it in 9C, that means the client never had the intention. You pointed out, future mein, the officer can put notice in section 74 fraud. Officer will put the notice in section 74 fraud. That's why this is just my view. Huh? Many CAs have different views. Okay, so many cost accountant might have different views. It's up to you. I, for all my client, reverse in GSTR9, not in 9C, so that the client is protected. Okay, now see. Next point. Input tax credit of 1718, which you avail in 1819. I just now explained you 16 subsection 4. Let us understand that. Or input tax credit of 1819, which you have availed in 1920. One case study I will like to take. See this point. 1 second. Sorry, I pressed the escape button. That's why. Yeah. Case study 6. See, what had happened? Input tax credit was there of financial year 1819. Okay, what happened? Input tax credit of 1819 was there. You forgot to claim in 1819. What is the solution? Is there any solution? Yes, there is a solution. There is a solution. If there is input tax credit of 1819, till what date you can avail? You can avail this till GSTR 3B of September 19, 6 months from the end of the financial year. Any ITC of 1819, you could have availed in GSTR 3B of September 2019, 6 months from the end of the financial year. Now, in tab 6, just now what I taught you, only those ITC shall be auto-populated which you have availed in GSTR 3B of 1819. I repeat, whatever the ITC is getting auto-populated in tab 6, only those ITC will be auto-populated of 1819 ITC which you have availed in 1819. If you have availed in 1920, that will not be auto-populated. That will not be auto-populated. Only 1819 ITC which you have availed in 1819, that only will be auto-populated. Okay, so what you need to do, please understand. It shall not auto-populate ITC of 1819 which you have availed in 1920. Whatever ITC of 1819 availed in 1920, that you need to declare in tab 13. This is not compulsory, and that will I explain. See this. See this. 1819 ITC, if you have availed in 1920, there is a separate tab for it. Understand. This is it. ITC of 1819, you have availed in 1920, where we will declare this tab 6 is just showing 1819 ITC availed in 1819. Tab 6 will show 1819 availed in 18. If you have availed in 1920, here you need to declare. Tab 13, same tab 10, 11, 12, 13. See, you can see ITC availed for the preceding or previous financial year. Okay, so 1819 ITC if availed in 1920, you need to give the figures here. Tab number 13. You read the heading. April 19 till September 9. 1819 ITC if availed in 1920, you have to give in tab 13. Clear? Please remember. See, I will give you some, there are some exceptions which I will explain. Okay, figures declared in tab 13 is just a declaration. Huh? It will not have any impact in your GSTR. It's just a declaration you're giving that this ITC have availed in 1920. Okay, it's just a declaration. Case study 7. Your total ITC of 1819 was say 10 lakh 75, 35,000 CG, 35 SG. Okay, you availed this in your GSTR 3B. Input tax credit, you availed this. Okay, now what happened? Input tax credit availed in 3Bs, 10 lakh 50, 29 and 29, and balance you availed, whatever difference was there, you availed in GSTR 3B of 1920. It allows now, you availed till September 9. So what you did, your total ITC was how much? 10 lakh 75, CG 35, SG 35. Out of this, in 1819, you availed 10 lakh 50, 29, 29. And this 1819 ITC balance you availed in 1920. You must have forgotten you availed it in 1920. This much. Now, how to declare this? Let us understand this point. See this. In 1819 ITC, which you have availed in 1819, only that much. 1819 ITC, which you have availed in 1819, only that much will be auto-populated, or you need to put in tab 6. So I will write this much. Okay, you will get only this much. Sorry. And 1819 ITC. Whatever you have availed in 1920, you need to give declaration in which form? Tab 13 of GSTR9. This figure you will write where? Because you have availed in subsequent year. Na? So you will write in tab 30 of GSTR9. It will not impact. So your total will not change. Whenever you will write the figure, your total is not going to change. It will remain the same. You see? See, I will put the figure. 24098 IGST. See, I'm putting no change in total figure. 570457 because you are just giving declaration. This is just a declaration. Huh? It will not impact your GSTR9. The figure is declared in tab 13. It's just a declaration. You have nothing to worry about. This shall not be counted as ITC of 1819. This shall be counted as ITC of 1920 itself. Okay. Now, case study 8. Let us understand that. This must have also happened with many of your clients. Your total IGST ITC was 10 lakh 60. Later, your client realized that out of 10 lakh 60, 9098 was not eligible. Your client realized that out of 10 lakh 60, 9098 was not eligible. Okay, so he reversed this ITC in March 1990. See, in the same year. In the same year, he reversed this. See, in December 18, 10 lakh 60 availed. In the same financial year, 1819, he reversed this 9098 because he realized that this is wrong. Now, what amount shall be auto-populated in tab 6 of GSTR9? What do you think? What amount shall be auto-populated? See, this was wrong ITC of 1819, which you have correctly rectified in 1819. You have rectified itself in 1819. Since incorrect ITC of 1819 is reversed in 1819 itself, your tab 6 will show the net figure. Your tab 6 is going to show after reversal figure because you have reversed it in 3B of the same year. You have reversed it in 3B of the same year. So see this. It will show the net figure, 10 lakh 50. 10 lakh 60 was the wrong ITC. This is the wrong. Less 9098, you reversed it in the same year. So the auto-populated figure will be 10 lakh 50 902. Okay, this is the point. This is the point. If you reverse, if your client has reversed in 3B in the same year, you don't need to worry. If he has reversed it in same year. But many times what will happen? Suppose his ITC in December 18 was 1050. What will happen? He availed ITC of 10 lakh 15 December 18 GSTR 3B. In May 19, in subsequent year, he realized that out of 10 lakh 50, 5,000 was not eligible. Out of 10 lakh 50, 5,000 was not eligible. So in the GSTR 3B of May 19, in subsequent year, he reversed the ITC of 5,000 along with interest and everything he completed. So he reversed the ITC of 5,000 in May 19. He reversed the ITC of 5,000 in May 19. Okay. So subsequent year. Okay. So what will happen here? What amount shall be auto-populated in GSTR 3B? How much ITC shall be auto-populated in GSTR 3B? See, ITC of 1819, your client has not reversed in 3B of 1819. He has reversed it in 1920. So how to disclose this? How to disclose this? Let us understand. See, in tab 6, in 1819 he has not reversed, so total ITC shall be auto-populated. Okay, when he has reversed in 1920, so if the ITC of 1819 You have reversed in 1920. That you are required to declare in tab 12 of GSTR9. See this, how this will work. If this was your total ITC 1819, you have not reversed in 1819. So tab 6 will be auto-populate gross figure because you have reversed in subsequent year. So this you will show gross figure, 10 lakh 50. Okay, now 1819 ITC, which you have reversed, which your client has reversed. You are not reversing. Your client has already reversed in 1920. So there is 1 point, reversal of ITC for the previous year. So how much your client has already reversed? 5,000 rupees in subsequent year. Here you will write 5,000 rupees in tab 12. Tab number 12 you will write. It will not reduce your ITC. It is just a declaration. It because you have already reduced in May 19. It is just a declaration in tab 12. Clear? So if 1819 ITC, you have already, your client has reversed in subsequent year, it will be declared in tab 12. So what is the conclusion here? See, first one more case study. ITC in 1819, 10 lakh 50. Suppose now the client has not reversed. Your auditor found out audit. Your auditor found out during audit, IGST 50,000. What amount shall be auto-populated? See, what was there? Your client has availed 10 lakh 50. Auditor during audit, he has not reversed. Now in October 2020, you did the audit. You found that 50,000 was not eligible. Now, how will you do this? Well, this ITC is not reversed in 1819. This amount is not reversed in 1920. Now you are going to reverse. So your tab 6 will show gross figure. ITC is not reversed in 1920. So your tab 12 or 13, maybe it won't come. In fact, this figure, since auditor is reversing, this will be declared in tab 7 of GSTR9. The one summary I will give you so that you will remember. Tab 6 will be auto-pause. See, 1819, he has not reversed it in 1819. So tab 6 will show 10 lakh 50. Tab 6 will show same 10 lakh 50. Okay, he has not reversed in 1920. So this it will also not come because it says only from if you reversed in April 19 to September 19, your client has reversed, then only it will come. So I have not done that also. In fact, the auditor has found out now during the audit of GSTR9. So now you will reverse this in tab 7. Tab number 7 of GSTR9. Here you will have to write 17,550,000. Which that means this, when you declare in tab 7, government will come to know auditor has pinpointed this. Okay, so if you understand the summary, if ITC of financial year 1819, you have reversed in financial year, your client has reversed in 1819 itself, only net figure will be auto-populated in tab 6. But ITC of 1819, your client has correctly reversed in subsequent year 1920. How well will you to figure? Tab number 12. But if your client has not reversed, the auditor identify and now you are reversing, you have to give impact in tab 7 of GSTR9. See, this is the confusion. This is the confusion. Only tab confusion is there. Rest you can do, but this tab confusion in GSTR9 requires clarity. Okay, but one good news I would like to tell you. Whatever this tab 12, details of ITC which you have reversed in 19, about this just a declaration. It will not have any impact. And tab 13, ITC of 1819, which you have availed in 1920. One good news is that these two tabs are optional. These two tabs are optional. It is not compulsory. It is not compulsory. It is optional. If you want, fill it. If you don't want, it's optional. It is optional. So thank God, finally government has realized that these tabs are difficult. So this tab 12 and 13 is just a declaration. It is optional. Even if you don't declare, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Now comes very good point. This is one of the major queries which is going on in the market. See, I will just give you my view. Rest is up to the respective chartered accountant and cost accountant and clients. I will give my view. See, tab 8 of GSTR9. ITC details comparison with 2A. See this point, please understand. GSTR 2A, Rule 36, Sub Rule 4, Tab 8, New Table 8A. This all let us understand together and then understand this point. See, what is this GSTR 2A? What is this GSTR 2A? Suppose I am a seller. I am a seller. Mr. Anil sir is a buyer. I sold goods to him of 1480 plus 18% GST. These are the invoice details. Okay, now whatever goods or service I am selling to him, I will file one return known as GSTR1. See, He will pay me 1480 and he will pay me GST of 266. Okay, whatever GST I have collected, I will pay to the government. So what happened here? Supplier collected GST and paid to the government. And this recipient, whatever Anil sir GST has paid, he will get the ITC. This to we all know. Now, whatever goods I sell or whatever service I give to the recipient, I will have to file return. एक return भरना है मुझे GSTR1 by outward supply by 10th of the subsequent month. Okay, and whatever GSTR1 I file, this through my GSTR1, through seller's GSTR1, this entire invoice detail, ITC detail, everything will be auto-populated in recipient's GSTR2. This will be auto-populated in recipient's GSTR2. He can check this. He can check this details in statement. Okay, so see this, what am I trying to explain? See, this is Anil sir said GSTR2, not real, man. This example, he can see this, B2B invoices. Here he will click on B2B invoices. He can check whichever sellers have filed GSTR1, every detail will come. Every detail is going to come here. Okay, so this 2A is a facility that whether supplier have filed correctly or not. Now, let us understand second point, rule 36, sub rule 4, and then I will explain you that target. Suppose Anil sir is a buyer. Now he bought goods from Mr. A. 1 lakh plus 12% GST. This Mr. A correctly filed GSTR1. So this ITC will be auto-populated in Mr. Anil sir's GSTR2. We can view this in 2. Okay, he took services from Mr. B. 3 lakh rupees plus 18% GST. Okay, this Mr. B also filed GSTR1 correctly. Very good. On the basis of Mr. B's GSTR1, input tax credit shall be auto-populated, 54,000. Okay, third point. He took service from Mr. C, 5 lakh plus 18% GST. Now what is happening? This Mr. C has not filed GSTR1. Since he did not file GSTR1, this 90,000 ITC never came in Anil sir 2. So he cannot see this in GSTR2. This point is going to happen. Similarly, took services from Mr. D, 2 lakh plus 12%. 2 lakh plus 12. Mr. D filed GSTR1, but instead of Anil sir, he wrote someone else GST number. Okay, so he filed GSTR1, but wrote wrong GST number. So this 24,000 ITC, this also never came in recipient's 2. If you carefully see, if you add everything, his eligible ITC was 1,18,000 as per purchase register. Eligible ITC was 1,18,000. But how much got auto-populated in his 2A? Only 66,000. You're getting this point? His eligible ITC as per purchase register was 1,18,000. But how much he got ITC? Only 66,000 in his 2A. How much he got ITC? 66,000 only in his 2A. Okay? Okay, now see. From October 2019, one rule 36 sub rule 4 is born. When? Please read it. Date. October 2019, not in 1890. This was not there in financial year 1890. From October 2019, rule 36 sub rule 4 was introduced. See, what was the point? How much was eligible ITC of the Anil sir? As per purchase register was 1,18,000. But how much got auto-populated into only 66,000? What this rule 36 sub rule 4 says, please understand, from October 19. Rule 36 sub rule 4 says, recipient can take eligible ITC. How much? Eligible ITC which is there in 2A into 110%. I repeat, whatever ITC is there in his 2A plus 10%, or you can say into 110%. So how much ITC is there in 2A? 66,000. Ignore what is there in purchase register. I will not. Section says what is there in purchase register, that ignore. What is there in 2A plus 110%. So 72,000, 66,000 into 110% or plus 10%, whatever you do. Answer will remain same. 72,600 only he can avail. If you see the eligible was 1,80,000, no boss, you cannot avail that. Whatever is there in 2A plus 10%, 72,600 is the maximum ITC he can take. Whatever remaining ITC is there, he can avail when it will be auto-populated in 2. So this is the section or rule 36 sub rule 4. This is wrong law, this is wrong rule. It shouldn't be there, but currently this rule is there. Many cases are going on. I hope this rule is removed, but currently this rule is there. Okay, now see. One case study 11, which all the clients and consultants are discussing. Suppose ITC for your financial year 18-19. I am talking about 18. This rule 36 came where? October 2009. Okay, now I am making you judges and all. You only think this point and answer. Suppose ITC of your client in your 3B is 1 crore 96. However, if you see the annual 2A, which is tab 8 of GSTR9, that is showing 1 crore 82. See this. See this. Your eligible ITC, details of your ITC was how much? 1 crore 96. This is what you have availed. This is what you have availed in tab 6. But when you check to tab 8 of GSTR9, your annual GSTR 2A, which is it is showing 1 crore 82. Are you required to reverse this 14 lakh 50? Do you require to reverse? Think about it. Think about it. You only people think about it. What is your opinion? You can reply on chat. What is your opinion? Are you required to reverse this input tax credit of 14 lakh 50 in GSTR 9 of financial year 18-19? If you were the consultant, what is your opinion? See, will the registered person be required to reverse this item? It depends on consultant to consultant. I'm just giving my view. As per my view, you are not required to reverse. I will tell you the reason why. As per my view, you are not required to reverse this in the financial year 18-19. Why? Because this rule 36 sub rule 4, it came into life in October 19. So I will give the impact in October 19. Now why I should compare now? So as per my view, this rule 36 sub rule 4 came in October 19. Also this GSTR 2A facility, it was not there from the beginning. This facility somewhere came in September 18 or October, in the middle of the financial year. So for the first 4-5 months, I cannot see my 2A. So how will I check? So I am telling to the government, how will I check? Also this rule 36 sub rule 4 came in October 19. So why? Give me one reason, government, why I should reverse my ITC in GSTR 9 of financial year 18. As per my view, as per my opinion, you should not reverse this ITC. But it is your opinion, your consultant, if it is telling, then it is up to you. This is just my view. You are not required to reverse this ITC. Here, I have given you all the understanding why. Now, one case study I will like to do. Suppose you are a registered recipient. You are a registered recipient. What is happening for the entire financial year 18-19? Say you have purchased goods. CGST 25,000, SGST 25,000. You have availed services, CGST ITC, SGST 30. And you have for the financial year 18-19, you have purchased capital goods 10 lakh 50. This is your total ITC. This is your total ITC for the financial year 18-19. This is as per a purchase register. So if you add everything, what was your eligible ITC? CGST 55, SGST 55, IGST 10 lakh 50. This was your eligible. Okay. But when you check your tab 8, your auto-populated figure, see what that is showing. Let us see. Let us open your tab 8 of GSTR9. See what it is showing. Only 10 lakh 37, 51, 51. Your eligible was how much? Much more. Your eligible was 10 lakh, 10 lakh 50, 55. But your tab 8 is showing 51, 650, 51, 650 and 10 lakh 37. In short, your tab 8 is showing less and your ITC is showing more. Now you want to identify. Why I have given my view, do not reverse it. But still, if you want to identify that which suppliers have not filed GSTR1, why there is a difference, which supplier have not filed GSTR1, how will you do this? It is in total figure. How will you do this? See, government has given this benefit. Table 8A of GSTR9 is born. There is one update. Table 8A of GSTR9. Now this facility is given in GSTR9 18-19. See this. You can see heading. Download table 8A of GSTR9. Okay, whatever was there total, you can download here. Once you download, one zip file will open in an Excel file. Open this Excel file, you will get this. Whichever supplier details you want, you will get this. These people have filed GSTR1 and these details are there. Now, which people have not filed, you can call them and punish them. Okay, so suppose you want, you can do this filter, auto total, subtotal, whatever is there, you can do it. Okay, so this is the facility given. All the details are there. When did you file GSTR1? That will also come. CGST, SGST, ITC, every detail is going to be auto-populated. Getting it? Please verify this. Which suppliers have not filed your GSTR1? Write a letter to them that, boss, in future if notice come, I will recover from you. I will recover from you. So this is the update and this is how you to do reconciliation. Clear? So this was our entire part of ITC. There are some other tabs and there is one more update which I would like to give you. Okay, chalo. Now ITC details are completed. I have given you tab 6, tab 7, tab 8, tab 12, tab 13, boss, again, everything we have covered. And I've just given my view. Rest is up to you. Okay, now see tab 17 and tab 18 of GSTR9. What is this? There are certain tab 17 and 18. See this. This is your GSTR9. What is this tab 17 and 18? This is HSN summary. This is HSN summary of outward supply and HSN summary of inward supply. These details you have to give now, which goods you are selling, which service you are giving, you have to give summary HSN wise. HSN means what? Harmonized System Nomenclature. Okay, it is an 8-digit code in relation to product. Suppose I'm selling this ACs and all. Now GST doesn't understand I'm selling AC. If I write the code, it understands the code and through the code, it will understand that I'm selling by AC. So this is that code, Harmonized System Nomenclature. Okay, for goods. And if I'm giving service like cost accountant, chartered accountant, advocates, I will have to write SAC code, Services Accounting Code, SAC code. That is also same 8-digit code. Okay, now see this. Everything is this 8-digit code. When you click on this outward supplies details, this is an 8-digit code, you will get it. This is an 8-digit code, you are going to get it. For goods, it is HSN. It is HSN. See this. Once you click, you can see HSN for goods. But if it is services, suppose I want rubber, so there rubber will come. All the codes will come. All the codes will come. Suppose I say electronic product I'm selling, this codes are there. On the basis of this code, you have to give quantity, rate, amount, etc. 8-digit code is there. You have to give quantity-wise details here. That is the description. Quantity-wise data, kgs. How much for the financial 18-19 quantity you sold? What is the taxable value? What is the applicable rate? Whether you have charged IGC, GST, everything you have to give. Yeah, product-wise, HSN-wise. HSN-wise summary you have to give. Clear? Okay, this is for goods. Suppose I'm a cost accountant, I'm giving services. I will click on services. It will be SAC code. Services Accounting Code. Again, same 8-digit code is there. SAC code. Okay, here I will write. Suppose I'm a cost accountant or any service, a professor, I will write professional services. Here you will get this 8-digit code. Whatever applicable is there, please select HSN and SAC properly. Suppose I'm a lawyer, I will select law and so on. Okay, now this tab 17, this tab 18. 18, inward supply, which client has maintained? Why will I maintain the record of my inward supply? Outward supply, chalo, few have maintained. Why will I maintain the record of inward supply? One good news I will like to tell you. This tab 17 and tab 18, those two are also optional, not compulsory. This is also optional for filing GSTR9 of financial year 18-19. Very good. Thank God. You can fill tabs in. Outward supply, I have my own data I can view. But inward supply, how will I identify data? So tab 17 and 18, fortunately, are optional. And final tab, tab 16. What is this tab 16 of GSTR9? This is also optional. I'm telling you in advance, this is also optional. This is your tab 16. See this. Let's come to tab 16 of GSTR9. Suppose I have purchased goods from composition dealer, I have to write. Which client I maintain separate wise? Suppose there is deemed supply. Goods returned on approval basis, sent on approval basis. All this data, which client has made? Job work and all. Okay, so for this, the tab 16 is also optional, not compulsory. But for subsequent financial year, please start maintaining data accordingly because GST is demanding such data. This is only optional for financial year 18-19. Huh? This is not optional for 19-20. Just for financial year 18-19, this is optional. Okay, now after understanding entire GSTR9, few must be thinking, boss, this is too complicated. Is it compulsory for every? Just now, yesterday only I told you. GSTR9, it is optional for registered person whose aggregate annual turnover is below 2 crore. जिसका भी turnover is below 2 crore, aggregate annual turnover below 2 crore, they are not required to compulsory. It's optional. It's optional. Okay, but as per my view, if there are any errors, omission, mistake from your part, I request you, this is an opportunity to rectify such error, omission, and please file GSTR 9. Okay, so this is the entire GSTR 9 outward supply and input tax credit and other tabs which were there. I will explain you entire throughput. Okay, one more topic I would like to cover right now, and then we will wind up the session. Okay, just 1 minute. Huh? One second. Huh? There are some update also which I will like to tell you. There is one form known as GSTR2B which is born. Yeah. See what is this? Just 5 minutes it will take. This is new form. Update is there. This 2A and now there is one more 2B. Let us try to understand. Just 5 minutes. This update is required right now. See, it's in GSTR1. When I file, it will be auto-populated in your GSTR2A. But there are certain negative points which I will like to highlight. Suppose that there is a registered person. Suppose I bought motor car or whatever. Now this is blocked. No? This input tax credit is blocked, but this also get auto-populated in your 2A. This will get auto-populated in 2A. In GSTR2, all the ITC get auto-populated. Eligible, ineligible, everything gets auto-populated. Also ISD credits, input service distributor. These are not coming into it. ITC which I pay under reverse charge, this is also not coming to it. Also invoice-wise details are coming. Supplier-wise details are not coming into it. Okay, so these are all the negative points. Now registered persons are frustrated. To avoid this, a new form has come already, GSTR2B. GSTR2B has also come. Along with GSTR2A, there is a new form, a new statement, GSTR2B. All B2B purchase will be auto-populated here. You will get the details invoice-wise as well as supplier-wise. If you have imported goods, that was not coming in 2A, but in 2B, that will also come because it is linked with iSkim. It is linked with a website known as iSkim. So whatever GST are paid at the port, that will also be auto-populated. All the ISD credits, input service distributor credit, that will also be auto-populated here. And whatever GST are paid under reverse charge, that is also going to be auto-populated. Also, there will be bifurcation of eligible and ineligible credits. See this. This is your GSTR2B, which you have to refer from September 2020. So when you open, say I'm opening of July, this you can see auto-drafted 2B. You have to select this. This is your 2B, a new form. 2A now is, okay, you have to refer 2B. Clear? Click, see this. You can see this B2B invoices. Debit note, credit note, ISD is also here, if there are there. Reverse charge, import, and credit reversal. Everything, it will be given to you in GSTR2B. In your GSTR2B in future. So now when you click on B2B, you are getting this. Invoice-wise as well as supplier-wise detail both you are going to get. You can download this Excel and you can compare. See, total supplier wise also you will get. If you can now compare supplier wise by VLOOKUP and everything. Okay, so this 2B is there from October 2020, which is September 2020, which is very useful form. ITC not available, ITC available, everything bifurcation you are going to get. You can download this Excel and you need to compare with your purchase register. Understood? So only this much I wanted to take because it was useful from September 2020. Hope both the sessions GSTR1, GSTR3B, that outward supply which we discussed yesterday, and today's session about input tax credit and other tab we discussed today. Hope both the sessions were very useful to you. I would like to just 1 minute. I would like to thank Debashish sir and everyone else for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge on the subject of GSTR9. Now, I request Bakchi ji, whatever queries were pending of yesterday and even today, if there are any, we will like to discuss this. Yes, sir. I will stop presenting my screen.
Thank you so much, Pratik sir. That was very insightful. And we have some queries today also. So I'll try to run them one by one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just basically, a lot of compliments have come by the way you have taken the session. People are very happy with it. Okay, here's a query from CMA Jairam. It says, an ITC of rupees 100 of 1718 was availed in 1819 and shown in GSTR 9 of 1718. Again, unclaimed ITC of rupees 150 as in 1819 availed in 1923B. How to show these figures in GSTR 9 of 1819?
Yeah. First of all, see, there is one clarification in GSTR 9 which government has given, that ITC of 1718. If you have availed in GSTR 3B of 1819, you are not required to disclose this figure. I repeat, ITC of 1718. If you have availed in GSTR 3B of 1819, you are not required to disclose this figure. Only ITC of 1819, which you have availed in 1819, that you need to disclose. And ITC of 1819, which you have disclosed in 1920, that you can disclose in tab 13, which is optional. That you can disclose in tab 13, but that is optional. So 1718, please understand, you do not need to declare. That clarification has already come.
Right, sir. A lot of members have written that the institute should be having a GST help desk. That, of course, I will pass it to CMA Debashish Mitro and also CMA Chittaranjan Chattopadhyay for doing the needful. CMA Anand has requested once again to explain the concept of block credit.
Block credit. 1 second. Shall I present the screen again? Will it do?
So it is totally up to you, sir. Whatever you want.
Block credit is very big point. I'm just taking that demo. So what I told you, the block credit is very big point. We have just got only certain parts of it. This. So as you have asked, I will just explain it again for 5 minutes. Sir, what is this block credit? Block credit means you have purchased this for the purpose of business. But still, whatever GST you have paid, you will not be allowed ITC. Point number 1 is what? Point number 1 is what? Say, suppose I purchase motor car, big companies, the directors travel in the motor car. The name is in the car is in the name of the company. GST is paid by the company. Whatever GST company is paying, it cannot avail ITC because it is blocked under 17.5. It is blocked under 17.5. Okay. Similarly, in there are good clients. So you have to take them to the restaurant. In annual general meeting, board meeting, you have to keep catering. There only shareholders will attend. So for that, you have availed caterer or you are going to restaurant. This is obviously for business purpose. But still, whatever GST you pay, you are not allowed ITC because 17.5 has blocked this. These points are there. Third point, works contract service. Suppose I want to do repairs of my office or a new construction, addition, whatever I want to do of my office. This is obviously office is for business purpose. Whatever GST I pay, I'm not allowed input tax here. 17.5 has blocked this also. Why this is blocked? This should be allowed as per my opinion, but currently 17.5 is blocked. Next point, suppose I construct a shopping mall and then let out the shopping mall. So whatever shopping mall I've constructed, whatever GST I paid on cement, bricks, labor, whatever I paid, I'm not allowed ITC. Okay, again 100% it should be allowed, but 17.5 has blocked it. Next, say I have purchased goods which are lost, destroyed by fire, stolen, certain there was a fire or someone stole it. Whatever GST I paid, government says input tax credit is blocked. Why? Because I'm not be going to sell in future. Hence, I will not collect GST in future. So whatever GST I paid on purchase, it will be disallowed. And last, if I purchase goods from a dealer who are registered under composition scheme, whatever, then GST is not allowed. So for all this point, 17.5 says, even though all this are for the purpose of business, still 17.5 says this ITC is not allowed. So during audit, please identify such point and in which tab you will reverse this? Tab 7 of GSTR9. Okay, and how you will pay? Through DRC03 electronic cash ledger. Through that you are going to pay this money. Okay, hopefully it was useful. I will stop presenting again. Yes, sir. Next query, sir.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. Next is CMA Ajay Sharma. He has a query. If supplier does not want his payment within 180 days due to his bank problem, what is the recourse? Can a letter from him be taken for availing ITC?
If supplier does not want.
Actually, he's written some word. I'm guessing it's supplier. There seems to be some typographical error there. I think it is supplier.
So for example, I will give you one example on my own. Suppose supplier and me, there is a contract between me and supplier for that I have to pay within 300 days. There is a contract that I have to pay within how many days? 300 days. So in this case, my ITC is not going to be reversed after 180 days. ITC is to be reversed when the contract is for say 3 months, 2 months, and I'm not paying. If the contract itself is of 300 days, my ITC will be reversed after 300 days. The Act says failure to pay within 180 days. So if there is a contract of 300 days, I have not failed. I have not failed after 180 days. So point says, if the contract is say payment of 2 months, 3 months, then after 180 days, my ITC is to be reversed. But if the contract between me and supplier is for 300 days, 365 days, 500 days, which is difficult. But if there is that, my ITC will be reversed after 500 days or 300 days respectively. Okay, sir. So I hope that was this question. Supply doesn't demand after 180 days also because our contract was there. My ITC is not going to be reversed. But contract should be there. That contract is of 300 days or 600 days or whatever.
A small question has come from CMA Amia Chand. If he's taken AC for his office, can he avail input tax credit?
Yeah, obviously. If AC is for the office, 100% ITC can be availed. For home, if you have done, you cannot avail ITC.
CMA Vipul asks, if we claim excess ITC and other reversal, we have to pay interest on excess amount.
So, as per my view, if you have availed ITC and utilized, I repeat, if you have availed ITC, that is okay. As well as you have utilized it, then you are required to pay interest. But if you have availed ITC, you have not utilized this, you are reversing it. That means you have not eaten government money, then you are not required to pay interest. So only after utilization comes, then only you are required to pay interest of 18% per annum.
Sir, CMA Ravi asks, ITC credit as per 3D is 9 lakhs for the year 1920. But as per books of accounts, he is eligible for 10.80 lakhs. Can he avail the difference in GSTR 9?
As I said, sir, in GSTR9, it's a facility to pay GST. It's not a facility to claim ITC. You cannot avail any ITC in GSTR9, sir. If it is of 1920, I repeat, so I think the question was that ITC was of financial year 1920. So if you have missed, you still can avail this ITC till you file GSTR 3B of September 2020. So when you file GSTR 3B of September 20, you can avail this ITC. Else you cannot avail.
CMA Vipul has asked a consolidated statement of a couple of things. I'll read through. If a motor car is not used by director but used for business daily need, is this under block credit? He also asked what would be the ITC criteria for exempt suppliers business? Is there any fixed ratio? And GSTR 9C needs to file for each GSTIN number separately or consolidated.
Okay, so 3 queries he has asked. First query was that regarding motor car. So motor car, see in 17.5, as I said, motor car is blocked. But if your car is being used for transportation of goods, transportation of passengers, or if you are using it for any other purpose like renting or selling, then ITC is allowed. But if your employees are traveling or your directors are traveling, then ITC is blocked. Okay, so if you are using your truck, vehicle, etc. for the transportation of goods or the transportation of passenger, you can avail ITC. Else not. Okay, now your second question regarding Rule 42, exempt supply and taxable supply. So there is no fixed ratio. For that, if you are saying total turnover is 3 crores, exempt turnover is 1 crore, taxable is 2 crore. So ratio is 1:2. 1/3 ITC you need to disallow, 2/3 ITC you need to allow. Okay, so it is in the ratio of turnover. It is not fixed ratio. Ratio should be every year you have to do ratio of turnover. Your third question was regarding 9C. 9C was that, see, GSTR9 is applicable if your turnover exceeds 2 crore, compulsory. But 9C says if your turnover exceeds 5 crore, then 9C is 5 crore for 9C. But annual GSTR9 limit is 2 crore. But for 9C limit is 5 crores. Then only you are required to file 9C. And when I say turnover, it is aggregate annual turnover. Means turnover of all the states combined. Okay, sir?
CMA Anand has set a reminder that yesterday an issue on RCM pending in our discussion, but I think you have covered it, sir. RCM.
First charge, one point was there, but I forgot that point.
We'll come back. After we finish today's queries, I'll go back to yesterday's queries. CMA Ravi has asked, what is the minimum turnover limit for GSTR 9C, sir?
That's what I said. When your aggregate annual turnover exceed 5 crore rupees, then 9C is required to be filed. Up to 5 crore, it's optional. 9C.
Yes. There are lots of compliments which are there, and about yesterday's that I'll go back later. Yeah. CMA Siddharth Sengupta asks, if a car is taken on rent for director of a company and higher charges for the car attracts GST, will that be allowed for ITC?
But under 17.5, renting of motor vehicle, purchase of motor vehicle, hiring of motor vehicle, leasing of motor vehicle, everything is blocked under 17.5. So even if your director hires the car, whatever your GST you pay on rent, it is blocked. It is not allowed.
CMA Vipul asks, what is the procedure of refund of excess payment made in RCM bracket if rate was 12% but RCM paid is 18%?
It's a separate point in refund that is nowhere related to GSTR9, sir. So currently I won't be able to explain, sir.
CMA Shankar asks, how could I ensure that my supplier has paid tax before I avail input tax?
Sir, that is the point. GSTR 2A and now GSTR 2B. Unless and until you can see the ITC in your GSTR 2A or your GSTR 2B, please do not avail ITC. I request. Now the government has become very strict. This Rule 36 sub Rule 4, which I taught you, that's why only. So if you can see your ITC in GSTR 2A, in 2A it is mentioned that whether he has filed GSTR1 as well as 3B, check that. If your supplier has filed GSTR1, if your supplier has filed GSTR3B, you can verify that. After he has filed, please avail ITC. Till that, you please do not avail ITC. So GSTR2A and 2B are required to be referred every month. Then only you avail ITC.
CMA Anand has been very kind enough to repost that yesterday's question, I think. It says material obtained in October 18 and entry in books in March 19 and RCM paid in September 19 and ITC claimed in September 19. Then how to present in GSTR 9 for 18-19?
So this is like ITC of 18-19, which you have availed in subsequent year, financial year 19-20. So that's what I said. In tab 13, there is an option. If you avail ITC of 18-19, which you avail in 19-20, you are required to just give a declaration in tab 13, which is optional. Even if you don't declare, that's fine, because GSTR 9 itself has said it is optional. But if required, you can declare in tab 13. And when you file GSTR 9 of 19-20, at that time it will come in your tab 6 respective financial. Okay, sir?
Yes, the last question is there, but I will request members, if any question has been left out inadvertently yesterday or today, kindly put it in the chat right now, because according to me, this is the last question which I'm going to read out. So if anything is left out, please, you can add it in the chat right now. Yeah, the last question is, this comes from CMA Shubhendu. What is the remedy if certain bill was found after March 2020 and on the other hand, certain bills are not shown in 2A September, return is over?
I feel he is asking the query that March 2020, some invoices he found, and now September 2020 GST 3B is already uploaded. So can you avail in October 2020 GSTR 3B or not? Sir, my point is that there is one section 16, subsection 4. What it says that if invoices of financial year 19-20, you can avail till 6 months from the end of financial year. So 19-20 ka how much you can avail till September 2020 GSTR 3B, only that is the time limit, sir. Now if you find it in October, November, December, GST says we will not allow. We have already given you 6 months. After that, if you find out, we will not allow you ITC. But this, because of COVID-19, I appreciate the fact that government is considering this, that this period of 6 months may be extended till March 21. Currently, there is no such thing, but you please keep it on hold. If government announce, you can avail it in subsequent month till March 21. Okay, but let us wait. Still government has not announced such thing. That's why I was not suggesting it. But there is a chance it will announce.
Sir, we take the last question for the day before we close. That is Ravi, sir. CMA Ravi has said, sir, tell me about annual return of composition dealer and also GST audit of composition dealer.
GST audit is not applicable to composition dealer because composition dealer are the person whose turnover is below 1.5 crore. Okay, so 9C and GST audit is not applicable to them. For them, there is a separate return, annual return, GSTR9A. There is a separate return, GSTR9A, which they have to file. Due date is same 31st of October. But that is also a very big return. How we have to avail, that is a separate topic in entirety. But they don't have to file 9C, they have to file 9A, only 9. 9 and 9C is not applicable to them, only 9.
Thank you, sir. I would request now my colleague, Senior Director, Dr. D.P. Nandi, who is the Secretary to the Board of Advanced Studies, Research, Studies, Placement, Training, and a whole lot of things which I don't remember. Before handing over to Dr. Nandi for the formal vote of thanks, sir, a lot of compliments have come for you in the chat. Everybody's appreciated. It's a very nice presentation. And one point has come again and again for the institute to have a GST help desk. So I'll convey it to the authorities. And Dr. Nandi, over to you for the formal vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can
sir.
hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So this is a formal vote of thanks from my behalf. So it's an excellent journey for last 2 days with CA Pratik Shah. So I thought that
Sir, a bit louder, please. A bit
Yeah.
louder, please.
Okay, I think it is okay right now. So I thought that I was in my school or college days, the classes are being done in such a way. I was all through with the classes for last 2 days. It is really a very good experience because all the intricacies and the difficult portion of the GST thing has been explained so easily and lucidly. So we'll remember you, sir, and hope our all the participants. And one thing I have noticed here that around 160 to 200 participants all the way yesterday also today also they have taken the classes, they have listened everything it was so absorbing that they didn't got the time to leave the sessions in between. So all through they were here because this is all about their professions. Even I think believe a few students are also here. I hope these type of sessions will be again and again will be conducting. I am grateful also to my president, CMA Vishwarup Basu sir. He was there in the inaugural session. CMA Raju Iyer, our vice president sir, he was there. And the chairman of our members in industry and board of advanced studies and research, without whose untiring inspiration to conduct such a program, it could not see the light of the day. And I should appreciate our senior director of members in industry and membership department, Arup Bakchi sir. He was all through from the very beginning, conceptualizing the thing, conducting the program, and communicating with all the faculties. We are having Amit Sarkar sir, who is also kind enough to visit both the days as a chief guest of the program. So I think it's a very absorbing program, along with our all staff members, our IT team, everybody. They have helped like anything. And the most interesting is that there are so many questions, important questions about the profession, about the intricacies of the GSTR9 that has come and has been resolved on the table. And we hope you may have some other questions. You can mail us, you can send us your mails to us. So we'll resolve that through our experts. And hopefully very soon we'll be coming up with many new sessions like this. And with this small vote of thanks, I would like to end here the program. And I think I missed the name of Chittaranjan sir also. He was also there present. He was the chairman of tax research department. He is also interested to have this type of program with us. So I think with this I should end here. But before I end, I'd request Bakchi sir, because he is the pioneer of this program. Even the name of the program, CMA Econnect, everything is his brainchild. So please, Bakchi sir, if you can have your last few words to conclude the program today. It is already 15 past 6. Sir, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nandi, Pratik sir, and everybody who has made this program possible. Thank you so much, participants, for having spent your entire weekend with us for the last 2 days, including today. Please be safe. We are going through very unprecedented times, very challenging times. We have got to overcome this. Please take care of yourself. And the Institute is always with you. And we want you to be always with the Institute. Jai Hind. Thank you so much. Good night.